On to the games this week. On Saturday, the Leafs lose 5-2 to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They need to play like they're hungry, which is the exact opposite of the way they've been playing. The offense was lazy, defense was sloppy, and they just looked like they didn't care. And because the effort just wasn't there, like so many other Leaf games this year, this one was difficult to sit through. Pittsburgh played like the champs they were and just buried the Leafs. Toronto played undisciplined hockey and gave the Pittsburgh Penguins 5 power plays. Pittsburgh went 3 for 5 on the power play on the night, and at one point were even 3 for 3. Of course, people will look at the score and take this as further proof that Toskala isn't doing his job, but once again, you can't really fault him. The Leafs didn't play up to snuff. 3 of the goals were on the power play, and 2 of the goals were on garbage turnovers in their own end. Not only that, but Toskala was also screened by his own players on at least 2 of those goals. When you play a team like Pittsburgh, you can't play sloppy like that. And you can't take stupid penalties when your PK is last in the league. That PK was really abysmal. I mean, you watched the first 2 penalties, and Pittsburgh scored less than 30 seconds into each of them. The Leafs just looked like they didn't know what to do out there. On their penalty kill, no one was blocking passing lanes, no one was blocking shooting lanes. Crosby was left wide open in front of the net. The Leafs seemed to pull into striking distance 1 minute into the third period when Nicholas Hagman scored. They seemed to play with a lot more jump and a lot more energy. Then Jordan Staal scored a minute later on a brutal turnover by John Mitchell, making it 5-2 Penguins, and that goal just deflated the Leafs. They can't seem to get anything started after that, and the Penguins just cruised to a 5-2 victory. In a game that was closer than the score indicates, the Leafs lost 5-2 on Monday against the New York Rangers. This game was disappointing, mainly because the Leafs deserved a better result than they got. During the first and second period, they kept it close, played solid hockey, and went into the third period only down 3-2. Ron Wilson stated that in the first 2 periods they competed like a team and things really seemed to be coming together. However, in what seems to be a theme for the Leafs this season, things will finally start to go right, then the opposition will score a goal which will completely deflate the Leafs and they will implode in the third period, which is exactly what happened with New York. After the 4th goal in the third, the team just seemed to lose hope, and things snowballed from there. And to add injury to insult, in the third period, a Rangers player was pushed into Vesa Toskala by Jason Blake, which caused him to injure his knee, and he'll be out for 10 to 14 days. And would you believe that's not the worst news this week? Leafs lose 4-1 on Tuesday, on the night that Darcy Tucker made his much-anticipated return to Toronto, and the Leafs honored recently deceased Leaf captain Teeter Kennedy. Tucker gets a goal and an assist as the Avalanche rout the Leafs. We saw a lot of new faces on the Leafs that night, including Joey McDonald and Tyler Bozak playing their first game for the Leafs. Garnet Exelby cracked the lineup, and Victor Stalberg returned to the lineup after suffering a mild concussion. And one thing really puzzled me about this game: why would Ron Wilson bench his top 2 scorers? Both Matt Stajan and Nicholas Hagman were healthy scratches, along with Jeff Finger. Huh? How does it help a team that's struggling to score goals, struggling to get its first win of the season, to bench a guy that scored a point in almost every single game since the season started? Who should really be benched are guys like Blake, Grabowski, Komisarek. One positive I guess you could take from this game is Beauchemin got his first goal of the season, which also happens to be the first goal by a defenseman this year. It's not much of a positive, but hopefully the days of Beauchemin's struggles are over. Unfortunately, the momentum it might have given us to get back in the game is killed by Komisarek taking another dumb penalty. And I know the new Leafs identity is to be tough, but this is really getting old. Joey McDonald didn't look bad. He did his best with the whole total team collapse in front of him. I mean, when your own defenseman headbutts a puck past you, what can you do? Bozak and Stalberg also looked good as usual, but it doesn't mean that Bozak's going to be staying with the big club. He'll be going back down to the Marlies, which are the only sports franchise in Toronto that's winning games right now. Now, in the latest effort to get the team going, Coach Wilson has decided to give the team Wednesday off. They have just one game over the next 10 days, so Wilson's going to try and lighten the mood in practice to take the pressure off the team, because Lord knows it's getting to them. He's going to try to have a little fun in practice on Thursday, which the players will probably appreciate more than another bag skate. Just a hunch. We'll have to wait until the Rangers play the Leafs on Saturday to see if Wilson's tactics work. Hopefully, the lighter mood will give the players some energy. The good thing is, the only way to go is up. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some DVD watching to do. I recently ordered 10 Great Leafs and their memorable moments on DVD, so I've got some reminiscing to do, including reminiscing about games I wasn't even alive for, including Game 6 of the 1964 Stanley Cup Final, Game 6 of the 1967 Stanley Cup Final. At least with this, I'll be able to watch a Leafs team actually win something. It's getting harder and harder to keep a level head, but boys and girls, eventually a win will come. Go Leafs, go.